Welcome to 30 Days on Mount Desert Island, Maine, Episode 3. I'm Todd Dunn. It's December 5th, 2018, and today I'm in Southwest Harbor, Maine. Okay, I'm starting the little tour here slightly off the main drag. I'm on Village Greenway, which is 1 block from Main Street. I'm just going to look around and we're going to see the back sides of some of the buildings on Main Street as well as what's back here. Here is the Southwest Harbor Municipal Building. The police department is on the ground floor, and upstairs are the town offices. And up past the municipal building is some more parking. There's a fairly large long-term town parking lot up there where you can park longer than a day. And over here, just past these parked vehicles, is the new town municipal restrooms. And over there we've got a restaurant, a hotel. They're on the other side of Main Street. The back side of one of the banks, there are 2 here. Back side of Sawyer's Market. Back side of a couple other businesses. I can't tell you what they are from the back side. And this is the back side of the public library. Southwest Harbor has a very good public library. It's a very nice place to go in. Might walk through there on my way over to Main Street. And if we look down Village Greenway, we see the backside of the drugstore. What used to be a thrift shop, which has apparently gone out of business now. It's up for sale. And a little restaurant, which, like most restaurants in Southwest Harbor, is only open during the summer. And finally, as we head back toward the municipal building, I'll walk across the street here a little bit. We have the red building there is the Legion Hall. Right here is the Village Green. It's not much. We've got a war memorial and then a little green space. I think they'll put lights on this tree as closer to Christmas. And we'll walk out to Main Street, which is the principal commercial avenue in Southwest Harbor. And here we are at Main Street. The commercial part of town ends right where that car just parked or is backing in. That's the end. And there's a little restaurant here, which is closed now, and a gift shop. On the other side of the street, a real estate agency, the Dry Dock Inn, hotel and restaurant. Hotel is actually open all year. And then Sawyer's Specialty, which is a wine and cheese shop, has a very good selection of wine for such a small town. And our hardware store. During the winter, there are only about half a dozen businesses that are open in Southwest Harbor downtown. The Dry Dock Hotel is open. Sawyer's Specialties is open. The hardware store is open. There are 2 banks and Sawyer's grocery store. And as we'll walk up here a little bit, I'll show you the other main drag here in Southwest Harbor. Okay, this is Clark Point Road. There's a little convenience store down there, a couple of restaurants, one of which is open, Sips, and the post office. And one other important thing, the barber shop. Okay, looking from a little further down Main Street, we've got a real estate and insurance office. This is the other side of the public library. This is the old part of it. The part we saw before is an add-on that was done a few years ago. I'll go in there on the way back. And walking a little further, we see Harbor House, which is a community center. They run lots of activities for both adults and kids. They have exercise programs and things like that. The brick building back there is the school. It's K through 8. And after that, the local kids go to the Mount Desert Island High School. A small church there. Back on this side, there's a restaurant here, which again is closed for the season. A little gift shop, which appears to be open during the summer, They sell lobsters for about the cheapest price you can get around here, live lobsters. And another little gallery, which is of course closed for the season. And as you go up that way, there's a laundromat and the town bar. This yellow building is the other town bank. It is, of course, open all year. We'll cross the street and show you what everything looks like from this side. Over here we have the drugstore and what used to be the health center, but is now, I think, administrative offices associated with the health center and the hospital. Okay, this is a cafe that just opened about a year ago. Coffee shop. And next door to it is a dentist's office, but he's only here part-time. Not sure exactly when. Up this way we have the community health center. You can't really see it back there behind the trees, but it's there. And the closer building is part of the community health center. They have a dental office in there. This particular health center is affiliated with the Mount Desert Island Hospital. There is another one on the other side of town that's affiliated with the hospital in Ellsworth, the Maine Coast Memorial Hospital. Okay, and we'll walk back here, and basically we're back on Village Green Way. Looking back where I started, I shot the first part of this video right behind that stop sign. So I'm going to walk over, go in the library, then I'll show you a little bit more of the more scenic part of town. Okay, I'm inside the public library and we're just going to walk through, and it's not very big, but it's nice. They have a reasonable collection and they're always bringing in new books. And there are lots of activities here. This is the main reading room here. And we'll head back and look at a couple more things in the back. And before I go, I'm going to go into the children's room. And this is kids' collections. And it's set up for reading to kids and all sorts of things go on in here. Upstairs, there are a couple meeting rooms and more stacks, but there were quite a few people up there and they asked me not to take pictures of the patrons, so I didn't shoot any video up there. So I'm done and I'm gonna head out now that we've seen what the Southwest Harbor Library looks like. Okay, I'm driving out of Southwest Harbor toward the north right now. And we pass most of the local businesses are back there in downtown, which is about a block and a half long. And there are a few more up this way. The fire department is down one of the side streets we passed. And up here a little bit further, we have a gas station, which has a convenience store in it. And actually this is the side street where the fire department is. And it's back there a ways. You can't really see it unless you drive back there. And we'll get up here to the two other principal commercial areas. Here's one of the gas stations in Southwest Harbor. And gas is $2.38 today. It's going down, which is good because I'm going to have to fill my new truck up fairly soon. And we'll make a turn here onto Seal Cove Road, which goes all the way across the island in the summer to the west side and into the Southwest Harbor Mall. So there's the liquor store and a few other small businesses, real estate, florist, a cafe here, Brendan and Laura's Cafe, which is pretty basic in terms of its decoration, but they serve very good traditional Maine food there. And down here we also have a veterinary office, which is open a couple of days a week, and some other small businesses. And that's pretty much the end of commercial Southwest Harbor, except for the marine section, which I will go to in just a minute. Okay, right now I'm about a half mile north of downtown Southwest Harbor, and we're looking south over a cove here, which marks the east side of the town of Southwest Harbor. The forested area up there is actually full of houses. Can't see too many of them. This little cove is sort of a mix of fresh and salt water because there's a causeway across the entrance to it that only has a small opening, and at low tide water runs out here, the level drops, and then at high tide water runs back in. But there are also a couple small streams that drain into here, and as you can see, it's frozen over up here, even though it's only got down to about 20 last night, because this part is mostly fresh, and further over it's mostly salt. That's the golf course there, and that belongs to what's called the Causeway Club. And further out they have in the summer a swimming pool. If you join the club, you can swim there, and it's right on the edge of the ocean. So it's very nice, right at the causeway. Okay, now I'm down by the harbor. I'm at the west end of Southwest Harbor, the harbor, in one of the 2 or 3 marine areas here. This particular spot is dominated by the Great Harbor Marina. We'll walk down there in a second, take a couple pictures of it. Up above we've got a West Marine store, and behind and underneath the West Marine store is a bakery, the Little Notch Bakery, that bakes nice breads, and they also do pastries, although mostly in the summer. And they this year had a little pastry shop there for the first time. I don't know if it will continue because it is a little bit off the beaten track, and I don't think they get a lot of traffic here. Over here, this building belongs to the marina, but there are a couple businesses in there. One that does embroidery. There's a sail loft up on the second floor, and there are a couple summer businesses that are there too that are shut now. As we get down here into the marina area, we pass the Black Ledge Lobster Pound, which is a dock that in the summer has about a half dozen lobster boats docked there. And you can see that they're not there now because these are the docks. They've been hauled out for the winter. And that's fairly active little area for lobster fishing. And now we're coming out onto the dock proper where the marina is. This dock used to be a sardine cannery. And when the sardine cannery closed, they switched over and opened up a marina. Marina's been here for about 25 years. So this is the marina office. There's somebody here all year because there are boats here all year. In the winter, mostly commercial boats that are laid up for the winter. Like the 4-masted schooner there does day sails out of Bar Harbor all summer, as does the schooner next to it, and they spend the winter here. And a few other commercial boats, a few lobster boats. And that's about it in the winter here in the Great Harbor Marina. It doesn't look like much, but most of the docks are out of the water right now, and they managed to fit in well over 100 boats during the summer. Okay, let's walk out here and take a look at a little bit more of the harbor. This is the north side of the harbor. Out at the end of this point, which is called Clark Point, is the Coast Guard. There are a couple lobster pounds there where lobstermen sell their lobsters, and a couple businesses. There's a local marine diesel shop, Down East Diesel, that caters to the fishing industry primarily, but they'll work on anything. And then Over here, mostly homes. And out there, although you can't see it from here, is also another marine store, Hamilton Marine. The other side of the harbor, way out there at the point, is the Hinckley Yacht Company, one of their operations in this area. We'll go out in that area in a second. And then the rest of it is all homes. Doesn't look like much, but it's pretty much completely developed there with waterfront homes. Those are almost all summer homes. Pretty much no one lives there during the winter. Okay, I'm on my way to Manset Road, which goes out the south side of the harbor proper. And I stopped here at the west end of the harbor just to show you what it looks like. It's pretty empty right now. There's the marina where I was just a minute ago. And in the summer, this harbor is absolutely full of pleasure boats, with just a few lobster boats over there on the far side where the boats are now. So that is Southwest Harbor itself. Okay, right now I'm over on Shore Road, which goes along the south side of Southwest Harbor. And I'm at one of the 3 town-owned docks on the harbor. This is the Manset dock. That little trailer there is the harbor master's office. And there's a little motel and restaurant that is open seasonally. As you look down there, you see the docks from the Hinckley Company, which builds high-end yachts and also maintains quite a few. We're looking east out of the Southwest Harbor toward the Great Harbor of Mount Desert Island, and then the gap between 2 bits of land is the Eastern Way, and that goes out into the ocean. And here's Southwest Harbor again. A lot of empty moorings. The dock, that's a buy truck for lobstermen who come down, and when they come in the afternoon, they'll buy lobsters from them. And then we look up the harbor. We're looking west up the harbor now. Over there is the main part of Southwest Harbor where we were. Clark Point, the building with the red roof, and the brick building beside it belong to the Coast Guard. And this side of Southwest Harbor 100 years ago was totally built up with commercial docks. And the harbor 100 years ago would have been filled with schooners and other fishing boats. Now it's 100% privately owned homes. And most of them, like this one, are closed up for the winter. They'll be opened up again in the summer and the people will come back. So this is Southwest Harbor, Maine. I'm just gonna go up a little bit and show you the last vestige of the boat building here. The Hinckley Company is pretty much all that's left in Southwest Harbor, so we'll go up there and take a look. Okay, this is my last stop in the tour of Southwest Harbor. This is the Hinckley Company. It is a boat builder and a boat maintenance facility. This is a boatyard. You can look over here and you can see one of their travel lifts there, and they have a bunch of boat storage buildings and maintenance sheds back there. Out here, there's the harbor. That's their primary dock. All their floats are out of the water right now. A building with restrooms and washers and dryers in it, and the bays for the travel lifts. This company started building mostly fishing boats and power yachts back in the 30s. In the late 30s, they started building sailboats, and by the late 40s, they had switched over to being almost exclusively a sailboat builder, which they continued until the 90s. And back in about 94 or so, they started building power boats again, and since then they have morphed into a power boat builder that occasionally, like once every couple years, builds a sailboat. They don't build boats here anymore. Starting in the early 2000s, they acquired some property on the mainland about 20 miles from here, and that's where they build all their boats now. And they are pretty high-end builder, and they don't build any cheap boats. So that's my tour of Southwest Harbor. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, and click the notification bell. This is number 3 in my 30 days of Mount Desert Island, and I'm hoping that I'll do one every day until I get to 30, as we see Mount Desert Island in December of 2018. So, thanks for watching.